It's 1990 Middletown, Ohio. J.D. Vance sits on his grandmother Mama's sagging couch, the smell of cigarette smoke thick in the air. Mama, a fierce, no-nonsense woman, tells J.D. stories of Kentucky hills and family fights. But beneath her tough love, there's a truth J.D. barely understands yet, a story of survival, despair, and hope tangled deep in Appalachia. What keeps this family from falling apart? It's a question that will haunt him and you. J.D.'s family journey begins with his grandparents who risked everything to escape crushing poverty in Appalachia. But moving north wasn't an escape. It was a new fight in America's Rust Belt. Mama, J.D.'s grandmother, wasn't your typical Southern belle. Raised in deeply poor Kentucky hills, she carried the weight of family trauma and addiction, but also a fiery protectiveness. When J.D.'s mom struggled with drugs, Mama stepped in like a steel fortress, rough, relentless. That couch in Middletown, more than furniture. It was a war room, a refuge, a place where tough love met stubborn hope. Poverty for the white working class in places like Middletown isn't just a lack of cash. It's a culture. Think of it as an old, rusty anchor dragging down dreams. Families fight more, friends drop out of school, trust is scarce. This isn't about whining, it's about behaviors passed from one generation to the next, like heirlooms few want but all inherit. It's about a community where despair whispers louder than opportunity. Despite this, J.D. breaks free. Yale law isn't a birthright in his world, it's a rebellion. His education is the hammer shattering the rusty anchor. He shows that grit, relentless self-awareness, and a willingness to step beyond cultural norms can rewrite your story. His rise is a surprising reversal, a hillbilly kid hacking his way to places no one expected him to reach. Family in Hillbilly Elegy isn't a warm hug, it's a battleground of loyalty, pain, and addiction. J.D.'s story unpacks how ties that bind can sometimes strangle more than support. Family dinners often crack under the weight of addiction. J.D.'s mother struggles with drugs, his aunt spirals, and fights flare like thunderstorms. These aren't isolated moments, they're the backdrop, the dark wallpaper of his youth. Mama's cigarettes and curses are survival tools against this chaos, but they also signal how worn out the family fabric is, stretched to the breaking point yet still holding tight. In this world, loyalty is complex. It often means standing by someone hurting themselves or walking away and feeling like you've burned your roots. J.D. wrestles with this pull between blood ties and self-preservation. Loyalty becomes a double-edged sword, not just about love, but about survival instincts clashing with emotional scars. It's a lesson in how sometimes love demands tough choices that sting deep. But J.D. discovers that family isn't just biology or history. It's a choice and a daily act of redefining. By leaning heavily on his mama's tough love and choosing mentors outside his immediate kin, he builds a new kind of family, a tribe that pushes him toward growth, not pain. Freedom came not from rejection, but reinvention within connection. Vance paints a vivid picture of a white working-class culture on the edge. Will it topple or find its footing again? The answer isn't simple, but there's a surprising thread of hope woven through the wreckage. Middletown and similar Rust Belt towns thrived on steel and manufacturing. But job losses came like a slow storm, factories closing, dreams fading. It's like a once bustling train station now abandoned, platforms empty. The economic collapse punches at the heart of culture, fracturing communities that define themselves through work, pride, and shared hardship. This erosion leaves residents unsure who they are or where they belong. Vance points out a paradox. The same fierce independence and distrust of authority that helped these communities survive now make rebuilding harder. Think of it as being handed a rope to climb out of a pit, but you're scared someone will yank it away. It's a culture caught between holding on and letting go, where self-reliance can sometimes look like stubborn resistance to change or help. But here's the twist: hope lies in clarity and choice. J.D.'s story shows that recognizing these patterns is the first step toward breaking free. People can choose to lean into education, stable families, and self-awareness, even when their environment screams otherwise. His trajectory from hillbilly roots to Yale is a beacon. The culture isn't doomed, it's primed for reinvention, not easy but possible. Back on Mama's couch, the smoke still lingers, but J.D.'s story is clearer now: a tough family, a broken culture, and a fierce fight to rise. This isn't just a tale of Appalachia, it's a map for anyone stuck in cycles too heavy to carry alone. So here's your move: find the Mama in your life or be the one. Lean into tough love and lift yourself beyond the anchor. The climb's hard, but worth it. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.